We're finally back. Hi, everybody. I took a while because well, it was the weekend. I wanted to take it for myself. But we're gonna do probably 2 streams, about 4 hours today. Well, I might throw in another 2, might make it 6. It's only 9. I don't know why my brain slowed down there. I do know why. It's because I'm an herbs and spices fiend. It's Talos Principle 2. We just got back to New Jerusalem. We're now getting into politics. World politics. I'm gonna real quick grab myself a unbranded beverage. Absolutely no affiliation with either of the large cola companies, of which I still will not name for the sake of possibility of there being doubt cast on my statement. New interface. What you talking about? The founder has suffered a serious setback as all contact with Byron 7 was lost during a foray into the interior of the megastructure. Byron is assumed to be alive, but trapped within a data stream overload and unable to disconnect. Several sources in the government expressed a lack of surprise at this turn of events, citing the first companion's history of rash behavior. Hopefully this gets people thinking about the dangers of populism, one source told me. It's been alarming to see people suddenly falling for this utopian foolishness. Very happy to announce that the Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition is now open to visitors. Come play with the 3 winning works at the Gehenna Memorial Pavilion. Finally, can't wait. Wonderful news, I'll be attending today. Nice. Will these be made available through the interface too? Yes, after the exhibition is over. Oh boy. The pessimist is commonly spoken of as the man in revolt. He is not. Firstly, because it requires some cheerfulness to continue in revolt, and secondly, because pessimism appeals to the weaker side of everybody, and the pessimist, therefore, drives his roaring a trade as the publican. The person who is really in revolt is the optimist, who generally lives and dies in a desperate and suicidal effort to persuade all the other people how good they are. It has been proved 100 times over that if you wish to enrage people and make them angry, even unto death, the right way to do it is to tell them that they are all the sons of God. Jesus Christ was crucified, it may be remembered, not because of anything he said about God, but on a charge of saying that a man could in 3 days pull down and rebuild the temple. Every one of the great revolutionists, from Isaiah to Shelley, have been optimists. They have been indignant, not about the badness of existence, but about the slowness of men in realizing its goodness. The prophet who is stoned is not a brawler or a marplot. He is simply a rejected lover. He suffers from an unrequited attachment to things in general. G.K. Chesterton. Rip Byron, TLDR, Rip Byron. We don't know that he's dead. He may just be lost. He could still be saved. I was going to say something sarcastic, but you know what? In the spirit of optimism, I really hope so. Cool. Very, very cool. Rip Byron. He's not dead. I'm gonna save his ass. I'm gonna do the fucking gold puzzles. I'm gonna save him. I'll save him!
The world is full of suffering. Every living organism suffers. Animals kill other animals to eat. And it always ends with death, torn apart or wasting away. This is what surrounds us. This is what's happening outside those walls, every hour of every day. It's our ethical responsibility as sentient beings to lessen suffering.
Now the domes
That's
look
what
right.
it means to be human. To understand that it is your duty to transform this world into something better. That's what the founder meant when she said that we can turn the world into a work of art. Despite what happened to him, Byron was right. We have to keep going.
This is blasphemy. Byron was punished for failing the founder's trials. And you want us to dig deeper? Just because you can't accept that suffering is natural and necessary?
Please, everyone, stop using the public frequency. If you want to argue, use your interface or speak in person.
I didn't catch who that last name was. If it's alright with you guys, I'd like to sit and listen for a little bit. Just relax here for a couple minutes. Not a couple minutes, but like, you get me. It's going for a bit. Alright. Enjoy your day, damn Jen. Your fucking color palette is so fucking rad, dude. Can I customize my color palette? Also, I feel like wasn't it all paved? No, this was how it was. Just feels grosser because it's now gray and wet.
Founder bless you.
Thank you. You too. Yo!
Hi.
12. Benaroya.
1K, welcome back to the city. As you can tell, your discoveries have had quite the impact.
I heard your speech.
I decided to take a stand. It started with what you said about extending our cats' lifespans, actually. That got me thinking about our responsibilities towards other life forms. What's life to most living creatures? Fear, hunger, pain, and in the end, death. Involuntary cessation of existence. That's horrifying, 1K, horrifying. And we are the only ones who can make it better.
I'm in complete agreement. So you mean we re-engineer the whole planet? The problem is there's a line of hubris, you know? And it's like, the question is difficult because do I think that we could successfully re-engineer, like fucking re-engineer the entire planet and ecosystem to benefit as many things as possible while still keeping it alive? Yes. But do I think we would succeed if we were to try on our first go? Maybe not. We'd probably kill the planet. But
Yes. Carefully and slowly, but yes. That's what civilization is. That's what it's always been. Creating structures to lessen suffering. But this time we include everyone. We use our intelligence to get rid of as much of the horror of existence as we can, for all living beings.
what you're describing is pure hubris. Suffering may be natural, but the nature of the suffering can change, and I think based off of perspective, it will be better. Very hard to achieve.
So, lots of necessary things are very difficult to do. We're the species that eradicated polio, went to the moon, created artificial intelligence. We need to start thinking bigger.
You've convinced me. I won't deny that I agree it is hubris to think that we could successfully pull it off. But sort of an infinite monkey typewriter. It's like if we had enough tries, I'm sure we could do it. But the problem is that it's likely easier to fail than it is to succeed by a probably like 99.999. Like you only got the point like 01, and it might be a good few O's. I have no idea though. You have to ask like an actual scientist here. But for the sake of utopianism, you've convinced me.
I'm glad. Please, when you get back to the island, make sure Byron's ideas aren't forgotten. People in New Jerusalem are starting to realize a different future is possible.
Good to see you, Onke.
Thanks.
Attention all citizens. The Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition is now open to visitors. However, please note that due to an unauthorized strike, public transport will be temporarily unavailable. May the founder be with you.
A strike?
1K, what can I do for you? For 20 credits, I can peer into your future and tell you what I see. What a shame. I don't think you've got enough credits for that. So, something else perhaps.
Interface. Thanks, that's all.
Please come back if you need anything else.
If I find out how to get more credits with Baba Gooba, I'll do something about it. I'll get my goddamn. You knew where the founder was. No, you're Neath.
What are you doing here? Ah, I assume it has something to do with your expedition? I must admit I haven't been following the news. Sorry, been a little lost lately.
It's okay, Neath. You okay?
No, not really. When you asked me what I would do now that my job is redundant, I
Oh,
don't
hi,
know.
big spider.
I guess I hadn't thought about it. I had just focused on getting there. And after you left, it all just rushed over me. The truth is, I don't know who I am without this. Creating new life, guiding people into existence, that's who I am. More importantly, I think that's who I want to be. And if we stop growing, that's the one thing I can't be anymore. That's why I wanted to talk to Cornelius. He was there at the beginning. He knows where we came from. I thought he might help me understand where I could go next.
You shouldn't have to give up who you are.
Thank you, 1K. I don't want to. I liked who I was.
I don't
Who
know why
still
people
am.
are blurring.
Now, you said you were looking for Cornelius? Oh, that's, well, I suppose it shouldn't really come as a surprise. They were very close, you know. After she disappeared, he went away for a long time. On a research expedition, he said. To be honest, everyone assumed he was working out his grief over being left behind. Many of the first companions were deeply shocked by her decision, particularly Byron.
Where is he now?
That's the thing. I wanted to talk to him about my future, but he wasn't responding to my messages. So I came here to talk to him, and he seems to have vanished.
Did you check his house?
No. The truth is that for the longest time, he barely left the museum. He was always at his terminal, working day and night. I asked him what he was doing once, and he said he was saving the past.
It's pretty ominous.
I did,
Checks
on my
terminal.
way here. And
Or
I
his house.
messaged most of his other friends. He doesn't seem to be anywhere in the city at all. I suppose so. It seems a little unethical, but then it is just his work terminal, right? Good luck with everything, 1K. And thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Of course. No one look. Lab location inaccessible. Deliberate? Unclear. User profile? Yes. Gold puzzles as barrier? Yes. Hidden as self-protection? Likely. External help for upload? Yes. Ask Herman? No. Trust 1K? Undecided. Application to Calvin? No. Application to Sarabai? With Nima? Yes.
So this is what Cornelius was working on? Strange. It looks a bit like the blueprints for the Somnodrome, but no, it's not quite that. Is he trying to isolate something in the buffer? Maybe Melville can make sense of it, but I think this might be a dead end.
I need to finish up with the mayor. You can head back to the VTOL whenever you're ready. I'll meet you there. No rush, though.
Oh man. Cornelius dipped. That fucking... Hi guys. I like that so far it seems like the choices in what I say actually do affect the outcome of who does what. So I wonder just how many events there are based off of who you do and don't talk to. This still ain't on? Isn't this the one about death or whatever? where like her friend dies. Just like my friend died today. It's like, damn. Sorry to hear that. Yo, actually, before I go to the fucking museum, I'm gonna go, or not museum, the fucking art exhibit or whatever. I'm gonna go check out my boy Purple. Where's Purple? I guess he wouldn't have to be in the same spot. Purple. Yo, what's good, rat? Dossicles, I'm so sorry, dude. Boing. Let's go check over here, see if the engineer guy's still there. So yeah, Cornelius was definitely in on it.
1K, welcome back. Is it okay if I ask you something?
Of course.
Lately, I've been feeling kind of insecure, seeing the pictures of the megastructure that your team sent. I've started wondering whether the dome is kind of pointless.
What do you mean?
The dome was meant to contain us, contain our impact. That's what the founder intended, right? But did she? If she did, why would she build the megastructure?
Maybe she changed her mind.
If that's possible, then it feels like nothing is certain anymore. I don't know where that leaves us. You could be right, though.
I should go.
Thanks for the chat. I hope you find Byron.
Me too, brother. Should I get big pink stars tattooed on my arms so that I can go super? Because I already say brother to people now. I don't know when I started doing that. Both in a term of endearment and in a term of exasperation. Alright, let's go check out the exhibit. We're gonna see if we can find Purple in the town somewhere. Go say hi to Rat here. I bet Purple's over there. Don't know why. My brain's just like, I bet Purple's hiding in that bush. Some of the tree textures have a weird effect on the air visually because the texture technically exists there.
Hey, 1K.
Hi. It's a tall. Thekla.
Founder bless you, 1K. Now is the time of our great testing. The deceiver Byron has been slain.
Jesus
We
fucking
must turn away from the
Christ.
path of sin, or suffer the same fate.
Why do you hate Byron so much? Have you ever considered that you might be wrong?
I don't need to. Do
Uh-oh.
you see any of our ancestors walking around? No? Then the truth is obvious. Mother Nature
That's
punished them
reductive.
for their sins. Why would I want to side with those who wish to blacken the skies and kill the oceans?
Mother Nature sees no sin. Mother Nature's blind. I don't want to waste my time talking to idiots.
The tools of the sinner cannot be used to raise the sinner's palace.
Why not?
Never forget that, 1K.
Alright, Thekla. Just don't insult my dad like that. Fucking asshole. Dude, fucking... Yeah, I've accepted him as my dad. So, y'all better not say no fucking bullshit. Because I'll smack a bitch up. It's like the only thing I could think to say because all of my other threats are like morbid as fuck. It's just like, an odd focus on teeth. Don't ask why. I don't know why. For some reason, I think it's because I had a nightmare, like when I was a kid, where. What? Oh. Did I step on your tail? No, you just don't like me. You don't like me. I'm so sad. My name? Or Nafe?
Welcome to the Gehenna Memorial Interactive Fiction Exhibition. Oh, it's you, 1K. Please tell me, you were there when everything went sideways. Do you think Byron will be all right?
If we find him, he'll be fine. I don't know. Mine was stuck in a data stream overload.
That sounds dangerous. Make sure you find him and pull him out. He is a menace, but we need him.
You
Anyway, you've come to take a well-deserved break from your expedition. So let's talk about something else.
What's Gehenna? Hell!
Gehenna was a place in the simulation. A prison where Elohim exiled the minds that didn't fit his plans. In time, the prison became a community with a culture of its own.
What happened to Gehenna?
In the very last moments of the simulation, Elohim realized what he'd done and sent his messenger Uriel to free the prisoners. They were uploaded to the gold disc, and their legacy is part of all of us.
How do you see the role of the artist in society?
I don't think the role of the artist should be reduced to any single social function.
True.
The artist isn't an educator or a moralist. Art isn't about teaching us lessons or imparting values. Nor do I think it's simply self-expression. The best art reaches out beyond the self, into something ineffable. The creative impulse can't really be quantified or predicted. That's why artistic freedom is so profoundly essential. Without the freedom to shock, to offend, to transgress, art becomes stagnant.
So why text adventures?
Text adventures were one of the few art forms available to the people of Gehenna. By continuing to work in that medium, we keep their memory alive.
Where could Cornelius have gone?
If it's true that he knew where Athena was, then he's gone back to the island. There's no way he'd ever leave her. He must have some kind of plan. But I don't know more than that. He's been very private these last few centuries.
Thanks, that's all. Oh, Jefferson Goldboom. By Rat! Holy shit, we're gonna play the shit out of that. I'm trying to think of what one I want to start with. Okay, so we have Argument Simulator by Gouda, a short, punchy work of games as commentary. Do you agree with the conclusion it suggests? Then what was this one? Ghosts of Atlantis by Corazon. A lyrical, atmospheric quasi-sequel to Atlantis. A classic work created by Lilith. The original game told the story of inundation. Okay, so yeah, it's like sequels to each of the things. I think we'll start here with Argument Simulator. Welcome to Argument Simulator. Credits. Written and designed by Gouda. Alright, start. I will be Socrates, please. Choose your argument. It's true. It's false. It's not true. It's not true. I assert the opposite. You're wrong. This is obviously incorrect. I can contradict you. The premise of your contradiction is itself contradictory. I question your epistemology. I question your axiomatic principles. I question your metaphysics. I question your ethics. Let's find out what we agree on. Okay, it feels like a good idea for us to understand one another better. Game over. Thank you for playing Argument Simulator. To play again? Yes. Socrates. It's not true. You're wrong. I can contradict you. I question your metaphysics. Your question begs your assertion. The foundations of your thinking are incorrect. I assert the opposite. This is obviously incorrect. No, it isn't. I can contradict you. I question your ethics. Question begs assertion. Your side will never be right. I assert the opposite. You're wrong. No, you are. I can contradict you. I don't accept the underlying logic of your contradiction. I question your axiomatic principles. Question begs assertion. Okay, let's find out what we agree on. I don't need to. I think I understand. Maybe something happens if we do all of them, though. Atlantis by Corazon. Dedicated to the people of Gehenna. Sorry, I'm just rubbing my eyes. Gently, your ship touches down on the land that once was the Isle of Atlantis, which in the days before the waters receded, lay deep under the Sea of Atlas. You have come to find the last legacy of your ancestors. The red sun burns bright in the sky, scorching the dying earth. Begin my pilgrimage. It doesn't show anything, but sure. I will go to the journey to the ancient farmlands. So it used to be rich, life-giving. Generations of humans relied on it to survive. Then the waves came, and after the waves, the dying sun. Now that all life is gone, something has been revealed underneath the soil. A city of unimaginable antiquity. The ghost of the farmer waits in its ruins. Speak to the farmer. This city is older than the capital, Ghost tells you. It's older than Atlantis itself. Our most distant ancestors hurled in terror before thunder and lightning. This city was already old. And yet the city is not foreign to us. We too are its citizens. He looks directly at you, and there's a light in his eyes that is not of this world. Are you willing to swear fealty to this city across the boundaries of time and space? No. Then the city will not be there for you when you need it, and you will fail. But you are young, so very young. You will find this city elsewhere in time, and have another opportunity. The ghost fades into nothingness. Continue my pilgrimage. I'd like to go to the Broken Tower, please. On the northern shores of the island, where the frozen ocean once stretched to the horizon, I might have read that wrong, stands the remains of a tower. Here lived a great magician who advised the king of Atlantis in matters of the sublime. Approach the tower. There is very little left of the once impressive structure. To anyone else, it would be a pile of rubble covered in black, dried-out moss, but you can see a glimpse of its past, of the craft that went into its making. By the tower stands the ghost of the magician, awaiting you. Speak to the magician. A great marvel was revealed to me in this tower, the magician says. A glimpse of the sublime. And although I am dead, and my soul has spent an eon under the sea, that vision is not lost to me. Even now, I could summon it, and reveal it fully. He pauses. If I do, I will finally witness the sublime in all its glory, he says. But I believe that in this moment, my soul will be annihilated. Is that a fate I should embrace or reject? Annihilation of the self is a sin. Annihilation of the self is liberty. I don't know. Okay. I don't, like, liberty? I don't know. Probably a sin. But rejecting the quest for the sublime is also a sin, the magician says, hesitant. Our grasping for the sublime is what makes us more than animals. Then find another way to witness the sublime without being annihilated. The sublime requires us to destroy our essence. It's not worth it. Make your own sublime instead. The magician laughs out loud, startled by her suggestion. Make my own! How unambitious, he chortles. And yet, what an ideal! What a fascinatingly mad idea! So mad that perhaps it's worth trying. Ask the magician to join you. I will join you gladly, the magician says. I would like to see some of the wonders you've brought from the sky. I'd like to continue my pilgrimage, please. To the Lost Shore. Your journey takes you to a wasteland that was once a beach where children from the Atlantean capital of Luna came to play. Here stands the ghost of the poet, contemplating the dying sun that fills the sky. Speak to the poet. I never completed my great work, he says. There were too many priests and censors who interfered, who did not allow me to create what I intended because they feared the free and true expression of poetic genius. And then came the earthquakes and the waves, and long ages under the sea, and now this time of burning death. Yet still I long for its completion, and my soul imagines what could have been. You must accept that your work cannot be finished, you are dead. You must refuse to accept your death, and find a way of completing the great work. All art is irrational, the poet says. It is not the opposite of reason, but beyond reason, and so is defiance of death, even by the dead themselves. We are gone. We do not exist, and yet we refuse to surrender. Perhaps that is what is called faith. Ask the poet to join you. Thank you. I've remained too long in this place, the poet says. Continue my pilgrimage. We're going to the Temple of the Owl, baby! The sun grows bigger and brighter. Time is running short. Your next stop is at the Temple of the Owl, the greatest scientific institution of old Atlantis. Here, the ancients tried to understand the secret laws of the cosmos, although their studies did not advance far enough to prevent their fate. The ghost of the scientist awaits you in the ruins. Speak to the scientist. I have not rested in death, the scientist tells you. In fact, death has provided ample opportunity for study. I have learned much about the machinery of creation. He hesitates. I'd like to join you, but I fear that the truth I have discovered will offend and outrage many. Tell him that outrage should not prevent compassion. Brave words, though few can endure their consequences. Still, even merely speaking them is bold, so I will join you in hope that you will stand by them. Continue. We have to go to the Temple of Serpents. Make way to the Temple of Serpents, which once was the greatest hospital in all of Atlantis. The sick and injured came here from all across the island, hoping that salvation could be found in its halls. All that is left is the temple of the temple is a labyrinth of low walls, and the ghost of a physician waiting for you. It is faint, barely visible. Speak to the physician. I worked here day and night for many years, and I saved countless lives, the physician says. And yet of all the lives that I saved, only one survived the death of the island, a young messenger who escaped on one of the ships thanks to another's sacrifice. And I have wondered many times since, was my work in vain? The burden of this question is eroding my soul. I think this. Never heard that saying, but it is not enough, the physician says. It is only a saying, and does not erase the weight of these tragedies, which I can no longer bear. Having spoken, he vanishes into oblivion. Dang, didn't get him. I hope I don't need him to succeed. The palace once stood in the very heart of Luna, the capital of Atlantis. Here, the greatest artists and craftsmen of the long-forgotten era built marvels and luxuries that would astound even a traveler from the distant future. But these things, like everything else, are gone now. Only a single remnant of the Atlantean world remains, though it is perhaps the most precious, a great mosaic telling the history of Atlantis before it wastes the ghost of the king. Speak to the king.
I tried to be a good man, to be kind, to balance justice with mercy, to honor the gods, to support the peasant and the scholar alike, and yet I failed. Why?
You failed because you were immoral, and Mother Earth punished you. You did not fail. We are here. All kings must fail, but it is not your fault that you were born a king. The king is comforted by your words.
You speak kindly. I know that I am not without blame, but in the end, I choose to save others before myself. So perhaps you are right, and I did not fail entirely.
Join me, king. King lays his ghostly crown aside.
I will join you, but only as a man.
Examine the mosaic. Mosaic is a work of superb beauty, a great work of history and humanity. In it, you see reflected all the hardship, tragedy, hope, triumph, and heartbreak of your ancestors. This is what you came to find. Retrieve the mosaic. You cannot retrieve the mosaic alone. The forces of time are too powerful, and the strength of a single person is not enough. Ask the ghosts for help. Even with the help of the ghosts, you cannot entirely pry the mosaic loose from the moors of history, but you succeed in removing a large part depicting the golden age of the island. It will have to do. Return to your ship. I can definitely get the whole mosaic. Strange bittersweet feeling feels that you did not fail, yet so much was lost. Could you have done better? Should you have? As the sun engulfs the earth, you wonder what would be remembered of your own time. The end. I'm gonna real quick go for the fucking power ending. Start. Begin. We're going to everywhere and we're getting everything. Ancient farmlands. Speak to the farmer. I swear fealty. Ask the farmer to join. Okay.
Good, but remember that even in the lofty world of the stars where you have come from, that loyalty will be tested.
Ask the farmer to join you. The strange light fades from the ghost's form. The farmer smiles.
Why, of course, I'd love to join you. I've always loved adventures, you know, and never got to go very far from home.
Continue pilgrimage. Alright, let's go get our other guys. Where did we go next? We went to Tower next, right? I think we went to the Tower next. Approach Tower. Speak to Magician. Annihilation of self is sin. Make your own sublime. Join me. Continue the pilgrimage. I'd like to go to the Lost Shore, please. So I'd like to speak to the poet. Refuse. Ask the poet to join me. Temple of the Owl. Here we go. Scientist? Greatest scientific institution of old Atlantis. Here the ancients tried to understand the secret laws of the cosmos, while their studies did not advance far enough to prevent their fate. Ghost of the scientists awaits you at the ruins. Oh yes, this guy. Yeah, outrage should not prevent compassion. Continue. Journey to the Temple of the Serpents. I worked here day and night for many years. There's a lot of choices here. All things are in vain unless we choose to believe differently. The physician's eyes widen and he becomes more visible. You're right, the physician says. In my work, I've seen life and death, and I know that to the cosmos, one is the same as the other. But not to me. It is I who find meaning in life. I must choose to continue doing so. Ask the physician to join you. I will join you, the physician says. There's still good I can do, even as a ghost. It's good to see you, brother, the magician says. Hey, they're related, I guess. Journey to the palace. Mr. King, you dropped this. Did not fail. We are here. Join me, King. Examine the mosaic. Retrieve the mosaic. You cannot retrieve the mosaic alone. The forces of time are too powerful and the strength of a single person is not enough. Ask the ghost for help. The help of the magician, the scientist, the poet, the physician, the farmer, and the king, you pry the mosaic loose. Holding in your powerful metallic arms, you are filled with awe at the depths of history, the bittersweet beauty of human endurance, and above all, the miracle that allowed this part of your distant past to survive. Return to your ship. As you return to your ship, your heart is filled with a soaring joy such as you've never felt before. In this moment, humankind stands defiant before time. Today the past is redeemed, transformed, exalted. Atlantis lives and her ghost rejoice. Your ship takes off, leaving the Earth to burn. But the Earth is not lost, no. And as those ships with their painted sails carried forward the legacy of Atlantis, so your ship carries forward the legacy of Earth, to the great sea of stars from whence we came, and to which we will all return. The end. Beautiful. Now it's time for Jefferson Goldblum and the Spectre of Modernity by Rat. I was about to try and do a Bartolomeo voice.
Jefferson Goldblum and the Spectre of Modernity, a true story. Written and designed by Red 980. Dedicated to Mac. You, Jefferson Goldblum, deftly step out of your charging pod and walk into the main lobby of the Goldblum Institute. It is a humble abode, filled with a small, flourish, four-seater sofa, a table, and a coffee bar, and an arboretum, I don't know. I can't say that word. I'm not gonna keep doing this voice, because I'm fucking dying.
Jenny HD. Right. Jenny HD, your fiance and the leading member of the, Caserati Weirstress Jazz Ensemble, greets you from the sofa, while Frankie Soy Sauce waves from the coffee bar and the velociraptor John Malcolm drives out of the arboretum on his motorcycle wearing his green armored t-shirt. I'd like to speak to GDHD, please. Oh, Jefferson, GDHD, Christ, GDHD, good morning. Good morning, GDHD, you replied. Did you sleep well, my darling? Oh, Jefferson, I slept most dreadfully. Why is that? Is your charging pod too hard? No, Jefferson, that's not it at all, Jenny HD mourns. My charging pod is very comfortable. I don't know why I slept so poorly, but I woke up on this small four-seater sofa, which is strange because I went to sleep in my room. Think about this carefully while stroking your guitar. Yeah, is that what you call it? Gross. Jenny HD has no problem recharging most nights. You're about to reply when a klaxon resounds through the Goldblum Institute. As Frankie Soy Sauce what's happening. Sorry, buddy, I can't hear you. Frankie drawls over the noise. It's the damn klaxon of doom. I know we shouldn't have set the volume to 11. If you want to ask me something you should probably shut it off first. Frankie eloquently waves his coffee up. Shoot the klaxon. Play my guitar. You unsling your guitar from your back and check the strings to make sure that they are in the proper order. Then you take a heroic stance with your chest puffed out, your legs splayed wide, and your guitar held heroically aloft. You play a chord, a perfect chord, followed by another equally perfect chord, and another, and another. As always, all the chords that you play are perfect. This is your greatest burden. Mollified, the klaxon shuts itself off. Talk to your team. Turn to the now silent central computer console and look at your team, who are all gazing back at you with varying levels of wonderment in their eyes. Ask why the klaxon was blaring. John Malcolm dismounts with his motorcycle and with an air of certainty and queries the central computer console with sure taps of his reptilian claws upon the keyboard.
It seems, John Malcolm says, that the sensors have detected a threat of galactic magnitude.
Oh no! Ginny HD cries. While Frankie Soy Sauce drops his cup of Joe in fear. Not Joe! Check John's findings. Even a first cursory glance at the central computer console reveals John Malcolm is right. The klaxon is indeed warning you of an unparalleled threat to both human world and the denizens of the ninth dimension. Jefferson, what is it? It's, you say with it, neuron and star-like gravity, the specter of modernity, Ginny HD. It's coming for us. Silence that follows your proclamation is only penetrated by Ginny HD's gasp and the porcelain sound of Frankie Soy's freshly brewed Java hitting the floor. Not the Java! That's the version of Minecraft that's cool. Take action. Friends, humans, dinosaurians, countrymen. Possessed by a sudden urge to act, you jump up on the coffee maker, much to Frankie Soy Sauce's dismay. We cannot let this threat of our very way of life go unanswered. No, we must stand against the specter and not yield until we are victorious. Will you stand with me? Wait for their response. Yes, my darling, anything for a human world, cries Ginny HD. Friend, you know that I'll stand by you by the bitter end, until the bitter end. That's John Malcolm Sol. Oh no, that's John Malcolm. He's the fucking science raptor.
Friend, you know that I'll stand by you till the bitter end,
adds John Malcolm solemnly. For coffee, shouts Frankie Soy Sauce, and for love. But, asks Ginny HD after all the shouting and swearing of fealty is done, how will we prevail? The specter of modernity is too powerful for you to fight on your own. Of course she is right, as she usually is. Take Ginny HD with you. Take Frankie Soy Sauce with you. Take John Malcolm with you. I think Frankie's got this. Come on, Frankie. We just finished this cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait, buddy, and then we can leave. I'll be no good to you before I've had my 7 cups of Joe. See the wisdom in your young friend's words. For being a human being yourself, you know very well that your kind can't function well without imbibing the prerequisite amount of the mildly toxic stimulant. I swear, Frankie Soy Sauce says, the world wouldn't be the same without coffee. We have to defeat this specter, even just to preserve this beverage. But Jefferson, where will it start? Where can we possibly manage to find the way to defeat this villainous entity? Well, obviously, where he is. When you approach the lair of the specter of modernity, you decide to leave your companion behind, knowing that you cannot risk another life in this final confrontation. Sometimes heroes have to stand alone. Enter the mechanical lair. I didn't mean to just give him the Irish goodbye and just be like, I'm going to fight him, see ya. Inside the mechanical area of the spectrum of modernity waits for you, sitting translucently on a titanium throne. Spectre of modernity, you murmur through gritted teeth. We meet at last. You're mistaken, Professor Dr. Goldblum, Spectre of modernity says. We've met many times before. I'm your father and your mother. Request clarification. Who do you think inspired you to add the power of electricity to your guitar? Who upgraded Jitty from SD to HD? Indeed, deciphered the mathematical secrets of the chords, that arcane knowledge upon which some of your greatest adventures depend. I was your ally all along, Jefferson. The foul wizard of crime has conspired to turn you against me. It was he who enchanted your klaxon. That actually makes a lot of sense, sorry. No biggie, says the Spectre. Now let us defeat the wizard of crime together. Even now he conspires to steal all that you have accomplished with the power of his enchantments that confuse the mind. Go back to the Institute. Are you an illusion? You're just back to the Goldblum Institute, where you find the wizard of crime taking advantage of the absence of your heroic friends, out seeking other ways to stop the Spectre of modernity, to rifle through your belongings. He's surprised to see you.
I see my scheme has failed. Curses! Were it not for that scheming Spectre, I would have stolen all your wealth and added it to my ever-growing hoard. For that's my scheme, to steal and steal until the whole world is mine.
And so you arrest the foul sorcerer instead of the development of human potential, and become good friends with the Spectre of modernity. I like that. And so you arrest the foul sorcerer instead of the development of human potential, and become good friends with the Spectre of modernity. Just call me Mo, the Spectre says. I'm sure we'll have many wonderful adventures together. The end. I can't wait for Mo to show up in fucking Talos 3 or later in the game. That's awesome. Okay. I'm going back to the mega structure. Purple? Right, I wanted to find purple. I gotta run around and find purple. Yep.
May the Founder be with you.
What's going on, guys? We deserve a functional city. Public transportation must be safe. Hi, Damien.
Welcome back, 1K. Thanks again for signing that petition. Unfortunately, as you can see, it wasn't enough.
What's going on?
Yesterday, there was a sudden brownout in the grid, and we almost had a derailment. We've been warning the mayor for months, and all he ever gives us is waffle about the goal. This can't go on.
I fully support you.
Thank you. Your support means a lot to us. We need to get through to people.
Did you hear Atal's speech?
I heard it 15 times when he was practicing it. I think Atal, like many of us, feels that the time for change is long overdue. The technology you uncovered on the island is the final catalyst for that change, or it should be.
I should go. Thank you. I agree. Granted, that's because I think the world needs to change, but it might be the opposite message of this game. Maybe I'll find out that the game's like, no, dude. That's the wrong way. You're gonna get... Dude, the whole world's gonna die if you do that. And it's like, man... That sucks, but okay. Have you seen purple? Hi, Thekla. You fucking bitch. Harpy. No shade to Thekla. Thekla's awesome, but damn, they really just fucking immediately were like, the serpent is dead. The devil has been killed. I wish I was there to do it myself. I wish I could have plunged a knife into his chest. It's like, God damn, Thekla. Why you gotta be like that? You know, I just realized there's no danger so far in the actual chambers. There's no bombs. There's nothing like that.
You are the Founder's chosen.
God?
But you are in grave danger of going astray. Heed my words, 1K. If you fail this trial, a year from now, New Jerusalem will lie in ruins.
And you know this how?
Anyone can see the truth if they are willing to open their eyes. Have you not read the books of our ancestors?
I've been alive for like
in every one of
few
them,
days.
The same story is told, again and again, that the pursuit of knowledge can only lead to death and grief.
Stagnation does the same.
The great ancient visionaries foresaw. Listen to their warnings. Seek happiness in tranquility and avoid ambition.
I don't think all ancient writers believed that there were other strains of thought that can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you can no longer imagine a better future, you cannot build one. Yes, there must be a reason those ancient writers kept repeating that theme. I think...
misleading fantasies and daydreams of impossible futures.
Didn't Athena name herself after a fairly optimistic novel?
That work has been misinterpreted by foolish utopian dreamers, like Byron.
I think you're one who's misinterpreting things to suit your worldview. So literally anything getting better is utopian?
I have no interest in arguing with fanatics who cannot open their minds to the wisdom of our ancestors. I bid you a good day.
I apologize, Malduke. I didn't mean to offend. I suppose we just have differing views. I think you should be more willing to change, Malduke. I'm willing to listen to you if you're willing to listen to me. We can both change for the better if we work together, Malduke. Have you played Rat's game? It's pretty cool. I left the coffee guy to fucking die, I guess. But he's okay, I'm sure. Frankie soy sauce. I wanted Frankie soy sauce cosplay.
1K, could you join us for a quick debrief?
Absolutely.
Attending today are advisors from engineering, the archive scholars, and Helga.
Yes, don't mind me. I'm just an admirer of governmental transparency.
Yes, well. While the mayor is briefed by Alcatraz, he's asked us to review recent events. Byron's loss has unsettled us all. It may be too dangerous to allow this expedition to continue.
That island is one big puzzle that's halfway solved. We can't quit now. May not be safe, but we can't leave Byron behind. Byron took risks, we'll be more careful. hot on the Founder's heels, we must keep searching. It's on this technology we can't afford. I think this.
I agree. We cannot be guided by fear. We must do what's right.
Let's not forget the dam's falling apart. We can't depend on hydro forever. With just a fraction of the power that island can generate, we could grow this city into a planetary society.
Or, quite possibly, destroy ourselves in the process.
Possibly and probably are different. Should trust ourselves to make good of this opportunity. We should beware the fate of those who wield power beyond their reckoning. We have more important matters to discuss. Should trust ourselves to make good of this opportunity.
Wise words from one so young. Yet I submit that island holds secrets far more valuable than mere energy generation.
What could be more important?
The Somnodrome, of course. If we could find a working model, it would herald a sea change in our moral and self-understanding. The question of how we should build New Jerusalem would simply be moot.
How? Why?
The Somnodrome was supposed to let us interact with our own subconscious code. It's a cool idea, but it wouldn't necessarily solve all our problems.
My own studies prove that we operate on an intrinsic moral logic. It's what makes us human. But our access to it is only indirect. Our ancestors created art, philosophy, and parable to help bridge that gap. The Somnodrome would help us to cut out the middleman and ask the source directly. We would finally have an answer to the great moral questions.
So, it's a newfangled way to make the same old mistake of judging who's good and who's bad.
We're fortunate 1K preserved the Somnodrome for our study. Initial data suggests it was a prototype with substantial design flaws. But there may be a working device elsewhere on the island.
Then the question is, what would 1K do if they found it?
Yo, straight up, I zoned out a bit. I didn't catch what you said. I'm keep an open mind.
No! This is much too important to decide on a whim.
But it's so much more fun when we're kept in suspense. You all sound so sure of what's best for this city. Do you ever think you might be so busy changing the world for the better, you'll forget how to see that it's perfect already?
So clearly there are different perspectives in the room. The only way we are going to move forward is if the team gets back out there.
I agree.
I believe Alcatraz is waiting for you at the VTOL. We'll be keeping an eye on your stream from here.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yo, am I, like, officially in the government now yet? Do I get to be a government? A government? Okay, bye. I'll be back to see that last art exhibit thing.
What can I do for you, 1K?
From Anubis. What do you think of the technologies we've discovered?
They all sound very promising, of course. Apparently, it's possible to just magic things into existence now. But what is the cost, 1K? There's always a cost.
We have to rescue Byron.
I agree. We can't just leave one of our most important citizens in that death trap.
Well, death trap, you know. I don't know if I'd call it a death trap.
It's always a pleasure to speak to a citizen.
Alright.
What did the mayor say?
I convinced him that we need to keep going until we found Byron.
Did he want us to leave him behind?
No, he's just concerned for our safety. And he's right to be. But we're going back anyway.
Great trials lie ahead of you, my child. But your choices will determine the future.
Melville? Are you receiving?
Yep. Welcome back
Hey,
to the
Mel.
mysterious island, everyone.
How's the situation?
Whatever Byron did seems to have sent the whole system into some kind of lockdown. I can't access any of the terminals, although I suspect 1K still could.
Why would that be the case?
When 1K connected to the data stream, the system assigned him a user profile. The rest of us are locked out, which means I'll need your help, 1K, because a lot of stuff doesn't seem to be working.
Okay. Check it out and see what you can fix. But please remember, what matters most is finding Byron.
We'll get him back. I just gotta go to the chapel. Pay my penance.
Chung, chung, chung.
Fucking stepping around. Step, stomping. I am only going here temporarily, but it's because I'm gonna end stream and reboot in a few minutes. Solely for the VOD chunking, it makes it easier for like titling and describing, because now I can just focus all the titling and describing on the city section, and then the next VOD will be fucking the next area. You get me? So, until next time, I've been Creature, you've been the lovely Chet, and the beautiful Vera at home. This has been Talos Principle 2, and it's been fun. See ya. Bye, everybody. I'll be back in a few minutes. Just gonna title and upload this, and then I'll be right back. Yeah.